This is a crazy transformation. So he hasn't had his hair cut in over a year. So you can see the sides are very long. So I wanted to trim those down first. So that way I wouldn't like put them into the braids by accident because he likes to keep his undercut and obviously his shape up too. So after I debulked the sides, I went in and I am now sectioning his hair because we're going to do box braids today. So I start with the middle part, and then from the crown to the ears, I separate the front and the back. So I did the first section in the back from like the kind of like the bottom of the earlobe to the other earlobe. That's the first row of braids. And now I am just kind of braiding all the way down, as low down as I can get it. I didn't put elastics on at first because I just wanted to see if the ends would kind of like curl into place and hold, but at the end I did decide to put the elastics on, so I don't think I put that in here, but I definitely did put those at the end. Sometimes the curl pattern is tight enough that it's not really necessary, but I just felt with like his texture and his curl pattern that I should just add the rubber bands in, the elastics, just to be safe. So I did like large sections on him. And I did about like 4 in this row, in the bottom row, from like the ear to the other ear. The first row was like a shorter, like smaller row. So I went in and I did 4, but you'll notice as you go up and do more sections throughout the head, like the bottom and top, you always do like the least amount of braids just because of like, how the head is shaped and stuff. So the second row that I am doing here, I am now joining the front section in with the back, and I'm dropping it a little bit in the back just to go with the shape of the head. And you'll meet that on the other side. So in this row, since you have more hair, it's going to be more than 4 braids. I think it was probably like, I would say anywhere from like 6 to 8. And then the section above this too will probably be the same. And then on the top, I think I did 6. Yeah, I did 3 on each side. But, as you go up through the head, you'll notice parts where you have more sections and then parts that you have, less sections. And it just all comes with like the shape of the head. So with the front, I always like to kind of direct the braid to go like towards the front of the face, just because I feel like it looks really good and it's kind of like a face framing thing, like kind of like angles in like a haircut. So I always like to angle a few towards the front, and I think it looks really good. Like, it's really satisfying for me as like a barber and like a cosmetologist to see the braids go over the front and they go over the fade, and then the fade and the shape up pops out. I just think it looks really good. I love doing box braids because I feel like it's like a repetitive thing that you're doing, like a repetitive service. Repetitive stuff really just soothes me, like doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know why, but like I like it. Like when I was in cosmetology school, I actually really liked doing like roller sets and like perm rod sets and stuff because it was just, I guess, like the motion of doing the same thing over and over again. It's just very like soothing and calming to me. I really like it. Yeah. For me, the hardest part about braiding like men's hair is when it comes to sectioning and parting, because the undercut. They have an undercut. They may have gotten it from their previous barber and have had the same undercut for years. But like one side might be like higher than the other. The left might be higher than the right, or the right might be higher than the left, or you know, like they included too much hair in the shape up, or they didn't have enough hair in the shape up. Now it's like a very like faint kind of shape up. So like that's the hardest part, because you want to make everything balanced and you want to make everything proportionate and even. But sometimes it's hard to do that with like the you know, the ratio of the undercut, if it's off, if it's not like perfect. So like barbers out there, if you're doing an undercut for someone, really take your time on the parts, like on the sections. Make sure everything is proportionate, balanced, even, because it just makes it that much easier when I'm going in to like do the style. What has made it easier for me is really to just visualize it before I go in and do it. Really observe, you know, the ratio of the hair that's going to be styled and the undercut, and try to see like how balanced it is in the mirror before you go in and do it, and just really visualize it and try to make that vision come to life as you're doing the service. If you need to make adjustments too, then go in and like, you know, redo an area if you have to, like if you want to make it look right, because clients do, like, they do notice that stuff and they're like, wow, someone else might have just left that, you know? So I really appreciate you taking your time to make sure everything looks right. But it also depends on the client too. Like sometimes people favor like being in and out of a place, but I don't know, my clients know that like I really want to make everything like as good as I can get it for them, you know, because I feel like they're paying you for a service and they're supporting you through different seasons of your career. So why not take that extra time just to make it right, you know? So we're almost here, almost done. So I'm going in and I am doing the front braid, and I'm doing what I said earlier, kind of like angling it towards the front of his head. So you'll see towards the end, it'll kind of like dangle over the like the shape up, and I really like that. It looks good because I'm like, wow, okay, the shape up and the braids and everything looks good. The fade is blurry, and you know, the style looks good. So yeah, here I am doing his undercut, and I like to fade the beard first because I'm really good with my beard fades, and it takes like 2-3 minutes tops. So I like to go in and do that first, because it just, after I do it, I'm like, okay, all right, I got that, you know, that gratification that part's done. And then it gives me a little boost and a little bit more motivation into the next part. So now I'm doing his taper, and we're doing a low taper on him. I like the low taper, and we've been doing it and it works, you know, so I'm just gonna keep going with that. So if you're here at the end of the video, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you so much. I hope you learned something and got some takeaways, or were just entertained by watching, you know, the hair process. So in the comments section, I would like for you guys to put a time where a service provider made you feel really, really good, because self-care is important, and I'm trying to make that more of a priority in my daily routine, but hopefully I can inspire others to do the same. So write a time in the comments where you were with a hairstylist or a barber or a nail technician, or you know, anything of that nature, where they just made you feel really good. How did they do it? Was it the service that they provided you? Was it the outcome? Was it, you know, the shampoo, the scalp massage, them, you know, like just providing the service that made you feel good? What did you get done? Was it braids? Was it a facial? Was it makeup? Was it your nails? Just write a time where you felt really good, and go into detail about the experience too, because other people do need to see that. And I think it's really important, and it's inspiring too. If you're one of my clients, you know, if you want to write a time where I made you feel really good about yourself, and like, you know, how I did it and how it kind of impacted your mood and the rest of your day. It's just a little experiment that like I want to put in, just to see how I can help others and how we can inspire each other. But yeah, so we're at the end of the video, and as you can see, we did the box braids, we did a taper. I really like how it goes over the front. I think it looks really good. It was quite the transformation, and he really liked it at the end. Seeing my clients happy makes me happy. Well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.